Major props to transportation that only requires 1 horsepower. Welcome to Fast Forward EV. It is the end of January 2024. And it's cold and misty and foggy. And we're going to take a drive to yet another new EVgo Ultium Flying J canopied station that has opened in Ohio. So here we are on Route 301, which cuts through the heart of Amish country in Ohio, south to north, heading toward Elyria, where it cuts through the heart of Elyria. And we'll go just a little bit north of that, near an I-90 exit, where there is a Flying J truck stop that just got some EVgo chargers. And we'll go and check it out. See how many there are, see if they got a canopy, and see if they're open for business. And we can test plug and charge in my 2020 Chevy Bolt while we're there. And if I'm sufficiently run the battery down enough, we could do a 10 to 80% charging time test while we're at it. Here we are in good old Homerville, Ohio. A lovely crossroads. With mom and pop antique stores and auto repair shops. And the smallest, cutest post office you've ever seen. Running into some lovely fog here. Welcome to Elyria, my hometown. So this is still 301, but it is known as Abbey Road, north-south route, and my whole youth was spent on this road. There's my church there on the left. Back there we just passed the drug mart that I used to ride my bike to. Over here on the right is all of the subdivisions. About a half a mile from here, within them is where the house I grew up in is. We would walk to school, which was just up ahead. And that is Elyria. Okay, we're coming up on Colorado Avenue. Still heading north on 301 right now. And this takes us over near the Route 90 interchange, where apparently there is a Flying J with chargers. It's over there. Pilot Travel Center. And there they are. No canopies. So we've got the standard Ultium setup we've come to expect, of two dual port chargers that load balance. So if two people are plugged in, they're sharing the load. It's a 350 kilowatt station, so two people plug in, I think they can both get 150, which is probably fine for almost every circumstance. What's just so sad is there's just two. I mean, it's great to have them, but just this mindset that the proper quantity of simultaneous charging at any stop is 4 cars that's not looking forward. That's like catching up to what we should have been doing 4 years ago. I'd like to see 8 as a minimum and 12 as a norm. That would be more appropriate. Okay, here I am at the Pilot truck stop. And we've got our lovely 2020 Cayenne colored Chevy Bolt here. We're going to plug in and get charging. Okay, we're going to do about a 20% to 80% charging test here. And we're also going to get to experience plug-in charge. Look, Ma, no app in my hand. The handle is rigid. I'm not happy with that answer. Okay, trying with the other handle. I noticed that both of these are already cracked. All right. It says we're starting at 16%. Pulling a full 51 kilowatts, which is great. And I didn't need to do anything with an app. So inside the car, it's projecting 60 minutes to 80%. We're probably going to beat 60 minutes for sure. We may beat 50 minutes. Okay, I'd read or heard that you can use the Chevy app to see what your percent state of charge is, since the car won't show you other than this bar graph, and it claims we're at 25%. 26%. Well, duh. The other place you can look at this is in the EVgo app, and it's been just over 9 minutes. The other thing with EVgo is they're really expensive. It's like 60 cents a kilowatt hour. It's like basically twice the cost of charging at Electrify America. Oh, right. We just hit 50% charged, and we've been going for 26 minutes. We're down 42 kilowatt hours, and that's going to continue to drop. It shouldn't go too far below 40, though, before we get to 80. So we're looking definitely at 50 plus minutes, probably close to 55 minutes, which was the original estimate on the dash. Okay, at 70%, we've fallen to 30 kilowatts, which is farther than I expected us to fall. I thought we'd stay above 35 kilowatts till the end. Okay, it stopped at 76%, and since it started at 16%, we'll go ahead and call that a 20 to 80 charging, 55 minutes. Now the cost. I've got a little bit of problem with the cost, because that would buy, like what, 7 gallons of gas? And 7 gallons of gas would take a compact car like this, a gas car, probably close to 300 miles, 250, 300 miles. And this was only about 150 miles worth of energy put back into this car. So this is costing significantly more at EVgo than it would be to gas up a gas car to go to the same range, the same size car to go to the same range. And that's not sustainable. EVgo can't keep getting these rates that are twice as high as they should be. We're going to have to do something about that. But at any rate, let's call that our test, and we'll get unplugged here and boogie on home, and no worries about range. We've got plenty of electricity to get home. Okay, so there we have it. That's the new charging station that we found up there. Very much like the other ones we've seen, just no canopy, which is a bit of a disappointment. But yeah, more of the same, and more of the same is coming. I think they need to do something about the pricing, but hopefully that will change over time. So for this trip in our 2020 Bolt today, we did a whole 246 miles. We averaged 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. So that's pretty good on a car that is 4 years old. It is still performing about the same as when it was new. So no complaints there. So is a Bolt okay for a road trip? It certainly still is. I would never have said otherwise. Did I spend twice as long charging as I would have in my ID4? Yes, I did. But that doesn't mean it can't be used for a road trip. You know, an hour instead of half an hour for a full charging stop. And probably be better off just charging more frequently. Having, say, 30, 40-minute stops more frequently would be the way to go with a Bolt, assuming that the chargers were available. And so all along, the Bolt has been a good road tripping car, and that's not changed.